Hello guys, it's JongLi here, and I'm back with another online commentary battle for Rome Total War. This time it's a 2 versus 2 31k rules battle, and this battle is a bit different. This battle I'm playing as Pontus. As you may know, my pike skills are pretty bad. Well, not bad, but they're subpar probably, and I'm not too comfortable with using pike factions. But in CWB, Pontus is really good and considered really strong. I'll explain a bit more about why I picked it and what I'm trying to do with it in this game. My ally here is Bubo. I've played with him a lot as an opponent and as an ally, so we know each other pretty well. He's gone for the Seleucids, and I tried playing the Seleucids a few games ago, or maybe a week ago, and over the 2 games I played it in, I found it really difficult to pilot. So Seleucids, I think, is a risky choice, and that's mainly because its infantry is generally very weak compared to other elite infantry. That goes for Pontus as well. So we are definitely at an infantry disadvantage. So we'll see what we can do about that. As our opponents, we've got Filthy Savage and Lac Jac. So they've both gone as the Romans, and they've gone 14-6. Lac Jac's gone 14-6, but Filthy Savage has gone 13-6 with 1 Archer Auxilia. So, yeah, with my army, what I've tried to do is try to go glass cannon. So basically, I've put a lot of attack upgrades on these scythe chariots, but the defense on these guys has no upgrades. So just to give you an idea of how weak they are, the chariots have 1 defense point, literally 1 defense point. The only thing that saves them from getting one-shotted by peasants and things is the 4 hit points, which is relevant. But these guys will die really quickly, but they'll pack a huge punch, and that's what I'm after. I've also got 1 chariot archer, so I've got 5 of these scythe chariots and 1 chariot archer. That's just there to basically counter any archer auxilia these guys bring. So we've got this 1 archer auxilia here, and my initial aim was to skirmish off this thing, but when I saw Bubo's build, I realized that he was going for a very infantry heavy build. So Bubo wanted to compete with the infantry, and he wanted to push aggressively with this and see how he went. So he's going to start moving up, and I knew I had to move up with him. I can't leave him behind or leave him hanging. With these 2 archers, again, the goal was to skirmish off any archers these guys would bring, because I anticipated them bringing quite a bit more than just this 1 archer auxiliary unit, which is gold attack, as you can see, or maybe silver attack and bronze defense. But I have these scythe chariots which put a lot of pressure on the opponent, so I can actually be very flexible with my archers. So what I'm going to do is pull my archers out to this side, and then just move my scythe chariots out to this side as well. Because even if they both team up against my cavalry force, the chariots can actually hold their own almost against even this much, because of their super high attack upgrades makes them a big threat. I've also got the chariot archer unit here, which I'm trying to get around the back. As I said before, try and skirmish off this archer auxiliary unit. But also, if I can, or if I feel like it, I can shoot these Praetorian cavalry, which will be useful, or even shoot the backs of the infantry. So, yeah, generally it's really favored for the Romans, but the scythe chariots are very powerful against the Romans because they don't have pikes. So if a faction doesn't have pikes, the scythe chariots become a lot better, because against pikes, the chariots are useless. The only useful thing you would be doing with the chariots against pikes is inflicting the morale penalty. But okay, I'll come later. But the scythe chariots. What was I saying? Don't even remember. Something about the scythe chariots. Oh, the scythe chariots are very effective because they don't have the pikes, so they don't die instantly, and they can shred through these urban cohorts, even though they're very heavily armored. I'll get to that later. So anyway, as you can see, Bubo is taking a lot of peeler here. He does have this Silver Shield Legionary body blocking for the peeler, and also taking some arrow fire there, but it routes very quickly. And as we can see, Filthy Savage is engaging his infantry on the front, so he's basically giving Bubo the engagement he wants, but he's also trying to do this flanking maneuver. So what he's trying to do is engage him on the front and then flank him with maybe 2 units. We'll see if that's enough though. Lac Jac is, I think, a bit unsure about what to do, because he sees this huge threat, this huge scythe chariot mass behind him, and he has nothing to counter them. He can't send infantry because they'll just get shredded so quickly. His cavalry will die so quickly to the scythe chariots. And this he doesn't have any archers, so he can't shoot them either. One advantage of bringing archers against the chariot factions, especially like Pontus, is the flaming arrows keeps them at bay, and keeps them at bay for a long time. So if he had archers, I'd have to keep my scythe chariots much further back than I am now, because the fire arrows will devastate them. But all they've got is this one archer auxiliary unit, so I'm not terribly concerned about that. I did forget to make a peeler screen, so my pikes do get a bit messed up here, but I see this golden opportunity with a bunch of urban cohorts stuck on the front of Bubo's pikes. I'm going to charge all my scythe chariots into the back of these urban cohorts, and this is very devastating for the Julii, because the urban cohorts, as I said before, are not pike units. They have very little defense, and the shock of these super high attack upgraded chariots smashing into the back of them is very demoralizing, to say the least. This also puts off Lac Jac from attacking my infantry, which is great, because I was in a terrible position. As you can see, I had to do a lot of random things to try and avoid the peeler, but now I can actually start utilizing my infantry to our advantage. A lot of my scythe chariots start routing here, but as you can see, it's detrimental to Bubo and our opponents though. So it's killing a lot of the cav, and as you can see, Lac Jac's cav has been reduced to a mere like 4 depleted units. And the cavalry of Filthy Savage has been reduced to about 5 very depleted units, while Bubo still has a full strength cataphract force and a scythe chariot left, and I still have a chariot archer left, which I am using to chase these Praetorian cavalry. Lac Jac goes for a very, very premature charge on my infantry here, which I have managed to get into an okay position. They're still gonna cop a bit of peeler like this, but I am managing to pressure Lac Jac, and you can see Lac Jac is trying to do the smart thing. He's trying to regroup, and Filthy Savage is also trying to regroup, which is a good move to face us. But we have a big advantage now in that our cavalry force is quite a bit stronger than theirs. Our infantry is still not as good, of course, but we have 2 kind of big-ish infantry forces, and as long as we don't get mass routed or get the morale penalty inflicted on us too badly, we should be able to hold up Lac Jac for a decent amount of time. So I'm moving out to this side. I know Lac Jac has caught some of my infantry, so I'm going to stop them over here-ish, and just going to put my pikes down and get them stuck on the front. As you can see, Filthy Savage is very, very scared of the cataphracts, and Lac Jac has these units that have come back, but he hasn't noticed, and he isn't bringing them back to the fight. I'm bringing my chariot archers around and also trying to bring my archers around, and I'm going to use my archers to shoot the sides and backs of these urban cohorts that are engaged on the front of my guys, my pikes here. What Lac Jac has done is he's just thrown everything on the front of my pikes and hoping to get a very quick rout, but that's not going to happen, not with this kind of abysmal flanking thing going on. Bubo is doing a great job here. He's snagging up a lot of these Romans in this kind of pincer, and these scythe chariots and these cataphracts are going to mass rout the remaining Julii units. What is left? So yeah, the Julii have been mass routed. All that is left is this force that is stuck on the front of my bronze shields. Bubo's going to see this, just going to charge his cataphracts in. Very big charge bonus. They're only warmed up. They haven't really done too much individual melee fighting, so the charge is going to be very nice here. And yeah, that's pretty much the game. Just this one urban cohort unit left that Lac Jac noticed a bit too late. So yeah, and the enemy team admits defeat. Overall, it was a very, very nice game. We started out at a definite disadvantage. So myself and Bubo, pretty much the only hope that we had to win at all was to Massrout our opponents, and we managed to do that, luckily. So very well played to Bubo. Yeah, he has a lot of experience with Seleucid, so I'm sure that carries through to here. Well played to Lac Jac and Filthy as well. Here are my kills. As you can see, the Bronze Shield got a lot of kills there from the cav charges, just pushing more units into them, into the front of the pikes. And also because they got so many units snagged up on the front. The Scythe Chariots, as you can see, insane kills from... In that short amount of time, I have chariots that racked up close to 100 kills, some even more than 100 kills. So that just shows you how insane Scythe Chariots can be if they're not just shot off the field by archers or routed by pikes. If they're used in good situations, they can come out on top and really provide the opportunity you need for the Massrout. Chariot Archers doing some decent work, and Archers also doing some very nice work for their low Denarii cost. A lot of the Bronze Shields there not seeing action, really just there as a threat presence. So yeah, see you guys next time.